Hello everyone and welcome to another live stream. I hope that you can all hear me. Please say hello if you can. If you've not heard my voice before, I'm Aonia. I'm one of the producers here at Listonia. Welcome to our requested live stream where we're going to be building an NPC. If you have any problems with any of the sound levels or anything like that, sorry about that noise. Please let me know. Like noises like that. As you can see, we can see the chat on the stream today because what we're doing is very interactive. So you are as much a part of the stream as Orael and I, because Orael is also here. Say hello, Orael.
Hello, everybody. How's it going?
And hopefully you can all hear him fine as well. So just as we go through, if you have any problems, let us know. We've done quite a lot of work on the audio, so it should be a lot better than it was last time. And hopefully that means going forward, we can have really nice quality recordings for you. It does help if you unmute the stream. Okay, so I'm slightly terrified about what's going to happen today, but here we go. So we did a Q&A stream a while ago, and one of the things we asked is, because Orael and I want to stream more for you, and we asked what kinds of streams people would be interested in. In the past, we've done Q&A, we've done bug fixing streams, that's basically it. But we were looking for other kinds of streams we could do for you, because we want to do them more often, but don't necessarily want to do a bug fixing stream every time or that sort of thing. And I jokingly suggested, why don't we build an NPC on the stream? Because I've seen it done before and I've seen it work very well. So I'm going to explain a bit how this is going to work. It's going to be very interesting. So what we are doing is we are creating together an NPC that is going to appear in a future event. I am not going to tell you what event that NPC is going to appear in, which is going to make this even more interesting. I will tell you it's not vastly far away, but that's the only clue you're getting. So we're going to do a series of polls and discussions together in order to work out the different properties of this NPC, from things like their race, to their class, to their hobbies, to things that they are scared of, and all sorts of different things. We're going to do the polls through the Twitch chat. So I'm going to run a test poll in a minute to make sure that everyone can see it, but basically the poll is going to pop up in the chat for you. So if you're watching without the chat visible right now, change around, make sure it is visible, and hopefully you'll all be able to get to those polls and vote, okay? Orael is here primarily as moral support, but also because some of the polls I'm going to be setting up live for you based on what you say. So whilst I'm doing that, Orael's going to entertain you in a morale support. Yes, yeah. He's going to do a dance
yeah.
in sound.
Interpretive sound dances. That sounds good.
What we will not be doing today is we will not be describing the NPC. We won't be writing the description for it. We're going to describe it in some of the polls, but we're not going to actually sit and write the description. We're not going to be progging the NPC on stream, anything like that. We're just going to be working out what it is so that it's a fun surprise for all of you. There has been some discussion of people wanting to do art of the NPC, so if you do your art based on what we do today, we'll have some interesting comparisons between that and what the NPC comes out as in the end. The sixth archetype will not be an option in the class poll.
Nobody wants an interpretive dancer class. That sounds so dead inside. I don't know how to sound not dead inside, so.
Okay. So I'm going to start. So I've timed all the polls. You get a set amount of time to vote in each poll, because otherwise we'll be here forever. And I've set them as 3 minutes because I think that's long enough. But one of the things I want to test with the test poll is that you feel you've got enough time to answer. So let's throw this poll up. Hopefully this works. There we go. So the way you vote in a poll is you put exclamation point vote with no space between it, then a space, then the thing that you're voting for, and it gives you all of the options there in chat. So, for example, you would exclamation point vote space, and then your favourite anomaly. And as you can see, this is going to get quite noisy. It doesn't hide your vote. Your votes are all going to be known. We will all know who is voting for what. And yes, I have put Aonia and Orael in a poll against each other. And no, you can't vote for all of them. You can't vote for more than one thing. You can't. I don't think you can redo your vote, so do be careful whilst you're voting. I'm not an anomaly. I am very specifically a thing that's a bit like an anomaly. It isn't actually an anomaly. You also don't. I don't think you get a warning when voting is about to close, which is the only problem with this. So, oh, brilliant, cool. So I am assuming it counts your latest vote. I don't think it lets you vote more than once. But yeah, three minutes feels like loads, doesn't it? So that's fantastic. Don't you dare. Don't mention that name in my presence. So the name Aonia actually comes from Greek mythology and is related to the Muses. It's one of the reasons I picked it, that, and it's exceedingly vowely. And I'm not a timequake anomaly. Timequake anomalies have a name. And it has a lot more consonants in. Yeah, that makes, yeah, I can see that. Wow, 3 minutes is quite a long time, isn't it? I feel like once we're more seriously voting, then you're gonna have you're gonna need some more of that time. Oh, there we go. That's the reminder. So I think the reminder comes through shortly before the end.
Shortly before.
We're learning this along with all of you, as I've not actually used, beyond playing with them earlier, I've not used Twitch polls before, so there we go. You can no longer vote on this poll, and in a minute, Streamlabs will tell us who the best anomaly is, and this is, definite.
We all know who it is.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, it's buffering.
I'm gonna get my zap button ready.
You've been tracking anyone who didn't vote for you and just checking them against who's online in game.
I don't think I can actually zap people, but we'll try. The thought will be there. The intent.
If anyone else, if we have a lot of people that start buffering, let me know. There's no video. There is what you're seeing, Shadis, is correct. It's what we'll be showing there. Wow, Streamlabs, talk about taking your time. When I tested this earlier, I swear it told me the answer much quicker. Unless it's doing something weird. It doesn't want us to know. We're not allowed to know who the best anomaly is. It's a secret that Streamlabs is going to keep from us forever.
It's just protecting my feelings.
Yeah, it's being kind to you. I don't know if there's anything to do. to force it through. Look.
My mom says I'm special too, so that's true.
Yeah, I'm sorry about this, guys. Thank you for bearing with us. I'm trying to work out what's gone wrong. When I tested it earlier, it correctly told me who the best anomaly was. But it seems to be having some trouble. Let's see. Yeah, it should just be automatically telling us the result. Yeah, you've unlocked the achievement of breaking the poll.
Huh.
Wow. Yeah, no, it should definitely have said by now. What we'll do is I'm going to really quickly. No, there's not any commands for it or anything like that. So let me very quickly run another one. And we'll
Maybe
just,
like 30 seconds or something.
Yeah, we'll just see if that's a fluke. Or if it's something else going wrong. So I'm going to put the same poll up now. Something went wrong. No, what I did then, Shadis, is completely different. So what I'm going to do... Thank you for bearing with us, guys. I'm sorry about... I'm going to try doing that from here.
Try to pilot a novice out of Newton together. A brand new novice.
Oh, hey! I know
That's not
who
a
the
bad
best
idea.
anomaly is, everyone. There you go.
No.
I tell you what Streamlabs
Yeah.
was waiting for. I've worked out what Streamlabs are waiting for. It was waiting for me to approve that Aonia is the best anomaly.
Why do you prove that? That's weird.
I had to confirm that he was, so obviously it means that I believe that. All right, brilliant.
I see how it is.
That means it is working when I actually do what I'm told. So, okay, brilliant. And I can actually see the breakdown. So when we go into, it wasn't close. So, you know, you can tell from 64.71% of the votes. So what we're going to do going forward now is I'll explain each poll beforehand and what your options are going to be. We will leave them at 3 minutes because there will probably be some discussion. But if we're getting a bit further in and that feels like too long, then we can tweak it. So the first thing we're going to pick for our NPC is their race. As you might be aware in Listernia, we have a lot of races. And our poll has a limit of 10 options. So here's what we're going to do. Firstly, we're only using base races. So we're not using Fink, Gnome, Sileni, Wildwood, Weirdwood, anything like that. Just because there's so many races. And what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 polls, and then we're going to pit the winner of those 2 polls against each other. And I have divided the races into 2 alphabetically. So 2 of your favourites might be against each other, or 10 of your favourites might be against each other. But we'll do the 2 polls, and then we'll go into a battle of the races of the first half of the alphabet and the races of the second half of the alphabet. And so you've got an idea. The things we're doing to start with, we're doing race, gender, age, and archetype is what we're beginning with. And once we've got those, we're then going to split off into some other things. So let's put up our first race poll. Our first race poll is A through K of our races. So Azlaran, Draknari, Dwarf, Elfin, Furrikin, Human, Igasho, Illithoid, Kefera, and Krakani. You have 3 minutes to vote on your favourite race for our NPC from this particular selection. And again, it's the same thing, just exclamation point vote, space, and then the name of the race you want to vote for. Wow, this is changing very quickly. I can actually see what's going on now. Yeah, so exclamation point vote. Did I miss failing? It's alright, I'll put failing in the second half of the alphabet. We'll make sure failing doesn't get missed. It can be an interloper in the second half. Yes, Aucagolei, that's smallest of races. And yes, that does mean we've pitted some of the winged options against each other, haven't we? Wow, there is something far ahead of everyone else right now. There's a battle going on. Oh, there's now a battle going on between Aucagolei, Illithoid, and human, and dwarf. Yeah, time to quickly make some other accounts for Twitch. I can also see how long you've got left, so I can now tell you you've got just over a minute and a half. Dwarf and Aucagolei are tied right now. If there is a tie, we'll put all of them through to the final race battle. Oh, Dwarf is winning because someone who'd voted Aucagolei just changed their vote to Dwarf. Was that you, Shadis?
Yay, dwarf.
There you go, you've got 1 minute left, everyone. We've got 21 votes and 32 viewers, so there's a whole lot of you that can swing this voting. No one's voted for Draknari or Kefra. There are least popular races in this bracket, apparently. Oh,
I get Kefra, but
we're back into a tie. You've got 20 seconds to vote. It's definitely between Dwarf and Aucagolei, though I think Illithoid could still come up and take it. There will be Mugwump, but Mugwump will be in the second round. So it is complete, and I can tell you that in this round, it's a tie between Dwarf and Aucagolei. So we will put Dwarf and Aucagolei through to the final race battle. And this is not going how I expected. I'm just going to quickly add 4 forgotten failings, who are going to be in the second half of the alphabet.
They're really poor, though, and forgotten.
I mean, we've got auctions going on right now. Everyone's poor, right? From winning everything. Okay, so our second race bracket, and the winner or potentially draw over this round will go through to face. Hold on, I haven't opened it yet. I know you want to vote for Laboshigaru. The winner of this round, however many there may be, will go through to face Dwarf and Aucagolei in the race battle for our NPCs race. So you're going to have 3 minutes again. And so in this one, we've got Laboshigaru, Lucidian, Merian, Mugwump, Orclac, Tayday, Taurian, Trill, Viscanti, and Failing. Off you go, you've got 3 minutes. Oh no, it wasn't everyone. The person trying to vote for Lobo earlier knows who they are. Lucidians, Merians, Tayday, and Viscanti, not very popular. It's true, Shadis, Bandrui is the best Mugwump in Listernia. and speaking of Mugwump, Mugwump is winning right now. Tay are not that far behind.
Mugwump are like slimy and icky. I don't know why they'd be winning.
Aucagolei are actually just behind Tay as well. Yeah, there's only actually a couple of votes in it. You've got just under 2 minutes left. Oh, Mugwump is starting to take the lead. How do you think Mugwump is going to do against Dwarf and Aucagolei? We don't have bit cheering turned off specifically. We don't have the ability to have bits cheered on our stream right now. It's not an intentional turning off. Wow, Mugwump is really far in the lead now. You've got just over a minute left to see if Tay or Aucagolei can catch up with Mugwump. If you want to vote, make sure there isn't a space between your exclamation point and the word vote. So you want exclamation point vote, with no spaces in there, then a space, then the name of the race that you want to vote for. Tayday's having a go. They're trying to catch up.
It's because it seems like Mizrae's trying to rally the troops. Rally the
Why am I not
troops
surprised?
to come back.
Alright, you've got 30 seconds. I think Mugwump's going to get it. No one at any point has voted for Viscanti or Lucidian or Merian. And there's some of my favourite races in there. I think Merian are really underrated. I really like Merian. Oh wow, there is only one. You've got 7 seconds, 5 seconds. There's one vote in it. And we have a winner going through to our final poll. And it is Mugwump.
40%.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to quickly make the poll for our actual NPCs race. So we have Dwarf, and we have Aucagolei.
All those people voting late. It's already closed, guys. It's already closed.
Yeah.
You missed your chance.
And the new one hasn't opened yet. Okay, so this poll is going to actually pick the race of our NPC. You have 3 options, and your options are Dwarf, Aucagolei, and Mugwump. You have 3 minutes. Off you go.
I hope you all make the right choice.
Oh my goodness, that's close. Wow, 15 seconds in, and it is a 3-way tie. I have to say, this is not how I expected this to go. I did not expect Mugwump to get this far.
Nerf to uselessness. We never used to nerf anything to uselessness.
Alright, it's no longer a tie. Dwarf flagging a bit behind. It seems to be between Aucagolei and Mugwump, and you have 2 minutes remaining to decide what race our NPC is going to be. And the race you pick will decide what some of our future categories are, because we can't pick their fur colour. If it's a Mugwump, that would be particularly strange. There is just one vote. There is one vote between Aucagolei and Mugwump right now. Zenthos, we are voting on the race for our NPC that we're creating. You have 1 minute 30 in which to do so. A lead is starting to be taken. It's not by Dwarf. Poor
That's
Dwarf.
disappointing.
Dwarf did so well in their heat, and yet when they came to the final, they just haven't quite shown up, haven't quite managed it. Well, if it is a
Good for
tie,
those dwarf wrestlers.
then we'll have to have a deciding vote, but it's definitely not like a tie right now. You've got just under a minute left. Dwarf did indeed come a little short of the competition.
They didn't pour enough oil, apparently.
Oh, we could have made a dwarf wrestler, everyone. Like, quick, dwarf just needs 12 more votes. There's only 7 people in the chat who haven't voted, but if dwarf had 12 more votes...
Dwarf mugwumps.
We could make an Aucagolei wrestler. I'm not sure that an oiled Aucagolei is going to be quite as enticing as an oiled dwarf, but you can certainly make the description a challenge for me if you really want. You've got 5 seconds. And we have a winner. So everyone, we are today creating an Aucagolei. Fantastic. That's going to be an exciting race to play with. Congratulations, Team Aucagolei. You had almost twice as many votes as Mugwump. So, I can't believe you actually did that. I should never have challenged you to do that. Okay, so what we're now going to do is we're going to pick our Aucagolei's gender, we're going to pick their age, and we're going to pick their archetype. So, as you may know, whilst we've introduced non-binary as a gender option for players, we don't actually have it for NPCs yet. So what I've done, because I didn't want to just have male and female as our only options, I have added a third option to the gender category, which is gender fluid. So that will be an NPC who will change between male and female, as we can't currently code an NPC into a different pronoun. So you're going to have 3 minutes again to vote on this one. This one is actually going to be just one poll. It's only race that was multiple polls just because of the number of races we had. Mizrai is not going to steal the NPC and we're done with it. So the poll is open. So again, exclamation point vote, space, and then the gender option that you want to vote for.
I'm seeing a lot of gender fluids there.
Yep. Yeah, it's definitely taking a lead. Although it's not, gender fluid is not that far ahead of female. They are quite far ahead of male. I think you're right. We've got a lot of male Aucagolei in the game. Let's have some more. Yeah, we definitely want more NPCs with different genders to just the binary ones. We are working on making it so that we can have non-binary NPCs or NPCs with even more pronoun options. I'd love to be able to give all of you more pronoun options as well, but that's quite a big change. And we also want to make sure we've finished fully the implementation of player gender options before we then move on to the NPC ones. So you have 1 minute and 15 seconds left. There is one vote between female and gender fluid right now. There's 12 of you out there who still haven't voted, so there's quite a lot you can do. Change this.
Yeah, it's definitely a large coding undertaking to change things up. On some very historically old code.
Yeah, I think especially for players, one of the challenges is things like all of our emotes. I actually went through and changed all of our honors lines. There's a whole lot of things like that. We have, if you've ever met an NPC, got 30 seconds left by the way, who says hello sir or hello madam, it's even things like that. We've got to go through and change all of those. So it's just a lot of things to change, and we're working through it. But it takes a while. 10 seconds left. There are 2 votes between gender fluid and female. Fantastic. There you go, 50% of the votes for gender fluid. So we have a gender fluid Aucagolei. Yeah, it was very close, that one there. Fantastic. So again, to explain that, what that means is that our Aucagolei will change form between male and female, much like someone having a is it a gilded mirror? That's the one, isn't it? That's the artifact. Although I think you can change to non-binary now with a gilded mirror as well, can't you, for players? Which is awesome. Okay, so now that we've got those, we're going to work out how old our Aucagolei is. So we've got 5 options, and this is where it starts to get interesting. Now, 4 of these age options are quite obvious, and one of them will radically change the direction we take this NPC. So our options for age are teenager, young adult, adult, elder, and undead. When you the commands for this, if you want to vote for young adult, it's all one word, there's no space in it. So again, you've got 3 minutes. I think I'd like you all to know that Ms. Rye told me to put undead in this category, so I am going to blame them. This is a very interesting NPC now. This is more like I expected it to go. So we've got 8 votes for undead, 1 for teenager, 1 for elder, and none for the other 2. Yeah, definitely, Kitty. I think if you had asked me what I thought was going to come out of this stream, undead gender fluid Aucagolei is not a series of words I would have put together. Yeah, sometimes the bot lags a bit. Don't worry, just your vote will have gone through. It just needs to catch up sometimes. Oh wow, Elder is making a push through. It's not quite catching Undead. You've got 1 minute and 30 seconds to see if Elder can catch Undead, or indeed if one of the other categories can make a push. Yes, Coraline, our Aucagolei is gender fluid, so we'll be changing between male and female. Elder, you're only 3 votes behind Undead, and we've got 11 people in the chat who haven't voted. No, no, not Elder as in Elder God. Elder is in a nice way of saying old.
Or wise. Wise is the other term to use for old.
Is it?
Elder?
Or you would know.
Wise? Yeah, exactly.
Although that would be, it would be left
Wise
field, wouldn't it, if we let you make an Elder God NPC? It's never going to happen before anyone gets excited, but...
Wasn't Asterial kind of like an NPC?
I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that every event we've run since then, it's actually been Asterial. Oh my goodness! You've got 20 seconds left, and Undead is no longer in the lead. Magnagora, what are you doing? Oh, and now it's a draw. If it is a draw and one of the options is Undead, I will make them both. So you've got 5 seconds.
I say leave it as a draw. Everybody
And
wins then.
It is a draw. So we have an Elder Undead. That's fantastic. I like that. So they're a crotchety older. Well, we don't know if they're crotchety yet. We haven't got to their personality traits.
Elder doesn't mean crotchety. It just means wise and old.
Okay, right. Yeah, we're doing it. We're going to go with both. So we're starting to build a picture of this NPC. Why not both? But what I really want to know, and the question I think we're all truly asking, is what archetype is our Aucagolei? And you have 6 options. I'm not unless your voting is too late. So what we'll do is you will vote on the archetype. Whatever archetype wins, I will then make a poll for all of the class options for that archetype. So all of the different org specializations. But I will note that this NPC is not going to have any affiliation to a commune or city. It's purely a this is where they trained thing. So don't feel you have to vote along org lines in order to claim the NPC, because that won't be happening. So vote accordingly. Here is your poll for archetype. Elder and Undead won, Coraline, so they are both of those things. Undead Celestine would be really fun. Wow, Druid, straight into the lead there. Hey, what's Brennan? Don't lol at Undead Druid like it's unexpected. Yeah, Druid is well in the lead. Guardian is not that far behind. You need to vote for Monk first, Ixion, and then if Monk wins, you can vote for them to be a Ninjakari. This time, every archetype has had at least 1 vote. No one's getting missed out. Mage is in there. Mage,
Why is there no
Mage
warrior?
has a vote. Why isn't there a warrior? Wow. What list did I use?
Poor warriors. Warriors are just underrated everywhere, aren't they?
Did I just miss warrior? Wow.
Oh man,
that's awkward, isn't it?
You're just adding ammo to the fire.
I've just
throwing on the wood and the gas.
It's like the 6th archetype, except I've just taken 1 away.
It's really going to be the 5th archetype now, because we're just going to get rid of warriors.
I just didn't want them to be underpowered. Okay, you've got 1.5 minutes left. There is a tie right now. Yeah, this is my foreshadowing. You've all been asking if we're going to get rid of a city. What I've actually decided is we're just getting rid of a class. To be clear, we're not getting rid of any archetypes. We're not getting rid of any cities, and we're not getting rid of any communes. Nor are we adding any of those anytime soon. The tie is between Guardian and Druid.
I feel like that's too mainstream.
Oh, it's starting to change. No one wants them to be a mage anymore. We've all Druid has taken the lead though, with 30 seconds left. If you're just coming in and you aren't sure what's going on, we're creating an NPC. We're voting in different categories to build a picture of this NPC that will then be made and put in a future event. You've currently got 15 seconds left to vote for what archetype our Aucagolei is going to be. And we'll then go through and we'll vote on what class they are, and I'll try not to miss any. 3 seconds left. It is so close. So, one option has 9 votes and one option has 8, and then the next closest has 2. However, in the battle between Guardian and Druid, the winner is Druid.
Druid, huh?
Which makes this poll very simple.
I hope it's Hearthstone.
And no, before anyone asks, I'm not adding any of the Chichoba or Aucagolei or anything like that. You've just got the two options. So, Undead Hearthstone is definitely exciting. You have 3 minutes to decide if this is an undead Hearthstone druid or an undead Black Talon. No one is voting for Black Talon. Oh, one person. But Melee, thank you, someone.
It's because she doesn't want undead in her forest.
Yeah, that's true. So we've got 12 votes for Hearthstone, 13 for Hearthstone, 3 for Black Talon. But there's still 11 people out there who haven't voted. We've got well over 2 minutes left. It does not have to be a corporeal undead because it's an NPC, so we could talk about that. That could be one of our poll options, is we work out what kind of undead they are, whether they're just a standard Arclick or Arclich, rather. I don't know why I said Arclick. That's something very different.
We're like licking undead.
Are we in Gaudaguch again, where we're just licking obelisks just to see what happens?
It's not like they have diseases or anything, right? So
my first thought upon beholding a meteor that's just destroyed large swathes of my city is, what happens if I lick it? You have 1 minute and 30 seconds to see if Black Talon can topple Hearthstone for what kind of druid our Aigasho is.
we were told not to do it, so we did it. That's like famous last words, right?
Isn't that the Gaudaguch motto? Delicious Draconic obelisk, my favourite. All right, everyone, you have 1 minute left. I feel like we're watching nothing happen at this point. Everyone's already voted for Hearthstone, but I'm gonna give it the remaining minute because you never know. There we go. We've got slightly closer to Black Talon coming through. And no, you can't make this one a draw before anyone starts thinking that.
That'd be funny.
"30 seconds left."
So I think Hearthstone, like, it would signify the circle of life, right? Isn't that the big Sandworld theme? Cycle of life. You go from living to undead.
I feel like as an undead, they've stepped outside the cycle of life, and they're an ancestor now.
Well, they're just showing one of the. Oh, that could be. Yeah, there you go.
Undead gender bending Aigasho Hearthstone Druid in stag form. All right, we have a winner. It's not a shocking result. So, wow, this is getting very interesting. So, we're about to get even more interesting because we're moving out of the preset polls and into the polls. I didn't expect anything but utter chaos from this. I was surprised the chaos took so long to come in, but the age category did that for us. So I've now got a few more categories where I want you to suggest options to me, and I will pick options that you throw at us in chat. We can, yeah, we could have an option for.
They're old.
Yeah, how old they actually are. But so we're going to go through things like their appearance, their personality, their something they're afraid of. is particularly interesting because they are an undead. We will do what kind of undead they are. So if they're an ancestral spirit, or if they're an archlich or something like that. But what I want to start with first of all, so we can really start to get a perspective on what this Eiger show is like, is I'd like you all to give me suggestions for first impressions of our NPC. Now, this could be a personality thing. It could be you immediately notice they only wear really bright clothing. It could be any sort of thing. Something when you first see them that you go, wow, that person is really... Nudist is an option.
I believe in Cernal that's called Skyclad.
Okay, so we've got grumpy, enigmatic, nudist. This sounds like a strange series. Speaking like Veritas. Okay. Goofy grin, loner. They could have clothing on even if they're not corporeal. They're not necessarily skyclad. Elegant. Illiterate. Miss Wright, you don't know someone's illiterate just by looking at them. Sassy, clingy.
Sometimes we do.
These are some good suggestions.
Shock.
Boneclad is amazing. You're all very insightful people that you can get some of this as a first impression.
I do like big dick energy.
See, I feel like that you could get that as a first impression more than that they're illiterate. Flea-ridden. Okay. So I'm picking some of these out because I don't want to have too many. I'm aiming for about 5. So keep going, and I'm going to pick some of them out. And we're going to...
A stag-hitting heartstone. That makes a lot of sense. Blind.
Right, keep going. Let's go a few more. I've almost got enough now as a list. Blind but sees through a crystal is quite cool. We've got quite a variety here. Oh God, mouth sewn shut.
I like allergic to trees. The druid who's allergic to trees.
Permanently bonded to skunk. Okay, stinky. Okay, I think that's enough. I have a very interesting selection of first impressions. So let's turn that into a poll for you.
Thinks that here's his ancestors, but it's really its pet hamster. That's funny.
Go for the eyes, boo. All right, so here are our options for first impressions. So you've walked into an unknown event, there's an NPC there, and you look at this NPC, and the first thing you think about this NPC is, wow, NPC looks really sassy. Or maybe you think, wow, they look really flea-ridden. Possibly you think they look really grumpy. Or you notice that they're blind. Or you think they're quite elegant. Or you just realise they're incredibly stinky. You have 3 minutes to decide which of these first impressions is the true one. Wow. That's an immediate huge lead for blind. No one wants this NPC to be flea-ridden. It's I wonder why. They're okay with them being stinky.
He could be like mangy Gashu. Mangy fur. Flea ridden.
I mean, we'll do next. We'll do what kind of undead they are, and you will have the option to decide the reason that they're blind is that they literally have no eyes. No one wants them to be stinky anymore. We've got a very clear lead with 1.5 minutes left to go for blind. Elegant is the next closest, and then we have a tie between sassy and grumpy, which really are quite similar depending on your perspective. Thinking about it. We will not be voting on the NPC's kinks.
That's a shame.
All right, you've got 1 minute left. It looks like our Aucagolei is coming out blind with 11 votes
the
to
guide
the
stag. Here's my seeing eye stag.
guide stag is really cute.
Please do not pet the stag. He's a working stag. That's great.
Bioplasmic, what have we created is what I expected you to all get to the end of this stream saying. I'd just like you all to remember that at the end of this stream, I am the person who has to go away and make this NPC. So when I sit in front of this description going, I don't understand how to write this, I will be thinking of all of you. You have 10 seconds.
You can't have a stag that's actually a spider because then we'd have to put him in Glomdoring.
All right, our poll is complete, and our NPC is blind. So,
who would have thought?
Yeah, please don't post links in the chat. If you have a legitimate reason to be posting a link, which is very unlikely, then we can allow you to. But it's just to protect the people who are in the chat. Okay, so what we're going to vote on now is what kind of undead our NPC is. So the options...
Blind kind.
The blind kind. So there's a few different options. If you want to throw out some suggestions for... and I'm thinking things like they're a skeleton, they're a zombie, they're a normal archlich, they're an ancestral spirit, that sort of thing.
Skeleton, spirits. Are links allowed? Links aren't really undead though, are they?
No, links are not a kind of...
Skeleton, white.
Zombie, specifically. Headless.
Headless. That's good. That's fun.
That's so horrible. I'm going to include it.
Plus, if aren't, we'll let them permanently lose a body part.
So I'm going to say that whites and wraiths are very similar things. So
we'd have him be a skeleton, and instead of using like a staff, they use their arm as a cudgel. Shoot wasp out of their arm. Lose their eyes.
Okay, so I think we've probably got enough. Make sure I set it to the correct amount of time. I'm gonna take headless off because as much as it would be hilarious, it does quite limit what we can do with the NPCs. So your options for what kind of undead they are skeleton, spirit, which would be ancestral spirit because they're a heartstone, archlich, white, and zombie. You have 3 minutes to vote. Wow, this is really even. It's almost a four-way tie. I think ancestral spirits are some of the coolest NPCs in the game. I think they're really, really interesting. Coraline is keen for this Eiger show to be a zombie. Yeah, there's only a couple of votes in it between making this a three-way tie. So there are kind of other skeleton NPCs. I'd say Brennan is a solid way to being skeletal. he's he's definitely got, you know, a strong foot in skeleton. Oh, zombie is coming up close. Zombie has almost overtaken spirit. You've got a minute and a half left. Yes, Chalice, it is bad that you hardly ever look at NPCs because we have an amazing team of volunteers who spend hours crafting really amazing, incredibly well written descriptions for all of our NPCs. So you should look at them. And you should read room descriptions and you should read item descriptions because they are really, really very good. And players also take a huge amount of time over their own descriptions and clothing poses and all sorts of things. So I definitely you've got just under a minute left, by the way. I really love watching players have costume contests and for things like festivals because I like just walking around and looking at everyone. It's 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 very fun. All right, there's three options that only have a couple of votes between them, and there's still a bunch of you out there who haven't voted for anything, so you could swing it. And indeed, if you don't read a room description, we do sit there laughing at you or face palming as you walk down the room you're meant to be in 20, 25 times. We do know. All right, you've got 5 seconds left. Okay, our Eiger show is an ancestral spirit. Amazing. Very exciting. So, we're going to go for something completely different now, which might give you an opportunity to make it weirder again. Yes, they're a Hearthstone. So just to remind you of what we've got thus far. So they are an Eiger show. They are gender fluid. They are an undead, and they were quite old in appearance as well, probably because they're an ancestral spirit. They are a Hearthstone druid, and they are blind. So actually, yeah, you're right, Coraline. The further we go, the more it starts to make sense. The sound hasn't. I don't believe the sound has died. I believe our sound is still going through. But if other people are having the same problem, then do just let us know. And yes, it's correct that the NPC is not going to be tied to an organization. So don't, it's not ending up in Serenwald. Yeah, it's effectively a rogue. This NPC. Brilliant. So, what I would like ideas. For now, I would like to know what our Iger show is afraid of. It's this one trees. This one thing that our Iger show just finds truly terrifying. I'm not seeing any drops on our end, so I'm afraid if you're having trouble with buffering or lags or anything like that, it's unfortunately on your end. Reloading the stream can help. Something it saw before it lost its eyes. Wow.
Maybe that's why it lost its eyes. It got scared and stabbed it
The
out.
very last thing they saw
Was Xanthos, exactly.
Okay, we've got some good options. Stags. Maybe that's why they're not in Serenwild anymore. So we've got trees, stags, squirrels, ghosts, flesh. Specific. Cats, the dark.
Fish. Xanthos changing clothes.
Heights. Ghosts, they're afraid of themselves.
Who's
Maeve?
not scared of Maeve?
Maeve is terrifying. Alas, Shadus, I'm not going to make the Iger show agoraphobic because that would limit what I can do with it event-wise. Maybe would like the Iger show to be afraid of flowers. Is that just some preparation for the future? Squibbles. They're specifically terrified of squibbles. Okay, we've had a few suggestions for the dark as well. Okay, brilliant. I think we've probably got enough to start with. So, water. But the reason they're undead is they just didn't drink anything because they were so terrified. Loud noises. Okay. So, oh, I need to set the time on this correctly. There we go.
Noses, not noises. Noses.
Loud noses.
Nosies.
They're just terrified of noses. Okay, so I've got 5 options for you again. And I'll go through some of them have got specific commands because there are a few words, so I'll make it clear. So, is our Iger show truly afraid of stag, heights, fish, the last thing they saw, or the dark? So for those last two, last thing they saw is last thing, or one word, and for the dark, it's just the word dark. I did not put squibbles as an option. You have 3 minutes to vote what they are truly afraid of. I feel like this is going to be a 2-way... Oh no, it's a 3-way contest.
The last thing's it's so open-ended. I don't know
Yeah.
what the last thing is.
Yeah. I mean, if you were all to put this into a tie, perhaps the last thing they saw was stag. Or the dark. They closed their eyes. Yeah, exactly, Xanthos. Yeah, it's starting to we're starting to have the last thing they saw take a lead.
Yeah.
No one's voted for fish or heights. Maybe the last thing they saw was a fish falling from a great height in the dark to a waiting stag. Maybe it's all of them. You have 2 minutes left to decide.
No one's scared of a fish? What about sharks? People are scared of sharks. Sharks are fish.
Allery, that sounds like a Monty Python sketch. So remember to vote, it's just exclamation point, vote, space, and then the name of the thing you want to vote for. So that's stag, heights, fish, last thing, which is all one word, or dark.
Blinded by Evan True announcing himself. Weren't we all? Weren't we all?
Aren't we all still reeling from that in some way?
That's how old he got.
Yeah. We've just decided their age as well. Alright, you've got just over 30 seconds left. There are actually still only 3 votes between the last thing they saw and stag. Someone has now voted for heights, thanks Mizrai. I don't know off the top of my head what Caracan's zap is, but if it's not a fish falling from great heights, then it should be. Maybe Sharoon's zap should be a stag falling from great heights. 5 seconds left. Our Eiger show truly terrified of the last thing they ever saw before they lost their sight. Right, we're just going to take a moment for me to delete some of the old polls before I get totally overwhelmed by polls.
See, she tried to plan the direction it was going, and you guys just went the other way.
Yep. I honestly thought we were going to have a Thurican. I'm really astonished that we've got Eiger Show. It's fantastic. I love Eiger Show. It's a race I've tried to put more of into the game, so I'm really pleased. Yeah, it's fantastic. Okay, so I would like some suggestions, and for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a lot more options in, and I'm actually going to pick the top 3 just to make this more interesting. So I would like to know what our Eiger Show's personality traits are. This can be one, you know, this is a bit different to first impressions. It's not the thing you notice straight away. It's the thing, you know, the core of their personality.
Toxic, drunk, batshit crazy. I feel like batshit crazy's already got a ton of batshit crazy people. Like, isn't Brennan pretty batshit crazy? Very timid, loner, paranoid.
I'd like to say that get off my lawn isn't a personality trait, but it really is.
Conspiracy theorist, that's good. Old man grumpy. It's probably true. You can never have enough batshit crazy. Desperate for company, lonely, mildly disgusted at everyone.
Brennan is not mildly disgusted at everyone. He's completely disgusted at everyone. Narcissistic? Cannot remember their past, so amnesiac, yeah.
Naive, really has to pee.
They're undead, Allery. Are you suggesting that they've just gotten stuck through their entire afterlife,
See, when you
desperate
die,
for the toilet?
Everything just comes out. Acerbic wit.
Thinks they're a
Overly
dwarf.
motherly, instinctual. eternally tortured because she thinks he has to pee, but he doesn't. But he can't.
Oh, I like the idea of their personality being different based on which gender they're in. That might be something that. So, obviously, when we build this and develop it, there will be things that develop from your concept. So, do keep suggesting more complicated things that we can't do in the poll, because it might be that I'm able to then put them in.
Like hoarder. Hoarder's good.
Hoarder.
That was good. Liar. Personality be different.
Okay, so I've got 10 options, so I'm going to build that into a poll. So remember, for this one, you can only vote once, but we're going to take the top 3.
Remember, someone owes them money, but not who. That's a good one, is right. Always lies as a male, always tells the truth as a female.
And they're always standing by a door? Speaks only in limericks. Brief. So I have put motherly, I've put parental because they're not just female. I've got room for stutters but can speak normally if they sing instead.
Sickeningly wholesome.
Sickeningly wholesome, isn't that Coraline? Are we just describing Coraline now? Okay, so we have 10 personality traits. No, that's true. I have seen her recipes. So your 10 options for personality traits, of which the top 3 will become our Aucagolei's personality, are grumpy, confused, timid, paranoid, silly, excited, incompetent, parental, hoarder, and liar. You have 3 minutes to vote. You only get to vote once, even though we're picking the top 3, remember? So vote carefully.
I do like they accidentally attack people by spilling hot liquids on them. I imagine accidentally in quotes, right? Like accidentally spilled hot liquids.
It depends what their personality traits come out as. If
yeah.
Hoarder is they tend to collect things that you possibly shouldn't keep. Keep a few too many of them. They've never watched Marie Kondo and never will. They just don't understand it.
It's because everything gives them joy.
Well, no one's voted for excited yet, so I don't think everything gives them joy. Loot hobo, yes, they're a loot hobo. And in fact, loot hobo is the most popular personality trait right now. Based on the top 3 we have right now, our Aucagolei is an incompetent parental hoarder who might be a bit of a liar.
You can imagine it's one of those parents that they mean best, but they always mess it up.
They hoard random things they think are trinkets because they're blind. It's quite cute. I
feel like if it is a hoarder, there should be a couple dead cats in the cave with it.
Well, hoarder is going to make the next category very interesting, so see why in a minute. Got no votes for silly and no votes for excited. And no votes for timid now.
Undead cats.
I feel like we've gone from afraid of flesh to hoard skins. I feel like we've gone quite a long way. All right, you've got 45 seconds left in order to change the personality traits of our Aucagolei. Yeah, I don't feel that silly isn't a very Aucagolei trait, is it? It's all right. There's not a lot of movement. You've got 30 seconds. Just a couple of votes could change everything because whilst Hoarder is far ahead of everything else, it's very
Yeah.
close between the others.
And they'll have to sing everything because otherwise they stutter, right?
I did not put that in the list. Okay, so I'm not going to show you the results for this one because, as mentioned, we're actually taking the top three. So with 7 votes, the top one was Hoarder, and then we have a tie for the second and third traits, which is that they're incompetent and parental.
That could be a lot of fun. And just for the people complaining about pronunciation, we've all decided that Aonia has what she says goes. So she says "I got you." It's "I got you."
I mean, I say Aucagolei.
I got you. That's what I meant. Don't listen to me. I'm not the end all say all.
Okay, so as mentioned, the fact that they're a hoarder is very interesting because what I would like you to give me suggestions for now, and we've only got a few more categories, is I'd like to tell you what our Aucagolei's hobbies are. Now, bear in mind, our gender fluid Aucagolei is an elderly undead from the Heartstone, but not resident in Serenwald, who is a blind ancestral spirit, terrified of the last thing they ever saw, and they're slightly incompetent, a very parental, sort of paternal, maternal sort of person, and they are a hoarder. Amateur surgery. Okay. Knitting. I like knitting.
Cooking.
Back in my day stories. Reminiscing. Can you reminisce as a hobby?
Baking.
Sculpting.
Gardening.
Basket weaving, yeah. This is
fursuiting.
No.
Darts.
Underwater basket weaving. It's like, I feel like underwater basket weaving and fishing are quite close. Role playing.
Man, everybody will try to turn anything we do into a way to get more honeycombs, right?
Beekeeping. Yep. Zip lining. Haunting places. Taxidermy is a good one.
Kidnapping people.
Licking rocks.
Handing out gold to Coraline.
Haunting other people's kids. Wow. Yoga. I think yoga should have been.
I think if we do yoga, it's got to be
earlier.
Yeah, exactly. It's got to be hot yoga. If we're gonna do yoga, it's got to be hot yoga. Hot nude yoga.
Proselytizing? I'm happy to do we can have up to 10 options, so do keep going. I'll do quite a lot for this one. Because I think this is a fun category.
Curio collecting.
Yodeling. Psychodrama?
Shedding for what is this, a furrykin? Come on.
Acapella.
Acapella's good.
I feel like we can only have one of acapella or yodeling as an option though.
Drinking shots.
I think as much as psychodrama is a fun idea, I don't think we can make psychodrama work as a hobby for an NPC, so I know Neji isn't here to shed, but it's okay. You two can have your own limited edition charity Squibbles plushie for just $5, which will also go to supporting charity. And I was going to talk about that earlier, and I should have done. playing the mandolin, making terribly coloured clothes. Allery, I'm going to interpret that in my own way. I'd like a couple more. We're going for 10 total. Reading.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, and also remember you can buy the Scribbles plushies for other people now, or you you buy them for yourself. You get a present that you can then give to people. Okay, sending players on unsolvable quests. Oh, it's alright. We've already got a lot of NPCs that do that.
Spinning the wheel. Queer eye,
Okay,
everyone.
okay. I've got 10. Some of them I've extrapolated from your suggestions. This is a strange list. I think this is the weirdest list yet.
The weirder the better. We could all go for a piece of blueberry pie.
Oh, blueberry pie is great. Cinnamon. I mean, anything's
And
good with
vanilla
cinnamon
ice
in.
cream.
Yes. Okay. So we've got 10 options for our Iger Show's hobbies. The options are knitting, basket weaving, darts, taxidermy, pottery, hot yoga, yodeling, tie-dyeing, that's yours, Allery, animal tailoring, so making clothes but specifically for animals, and makeovers. You have, you have, what? Oh, hang on, I've got to end the previous poll in order to do this one. So, here you go. Note that the ones that are 2 words are all 1 word. Tie-dyeing doesn't have the hyphen in. I've spelt yodeling.
Yoga?
I've spelt yodeling the British way, so it's got 2 L's. Only one hobby will win. There can only be one. They don't have time. All of these hobbies are really time consuming, you know, and as an undead who lives forever or unlives forever, they don't have a lot of time on their hands. This is so close. Wow, there is nothing. Oh, we've got something. Everything has 1 to 3, 0 to 3 votes. Nothing has more than that. So with 2 minutes left, it could actually be anything. We actually have a tie right now. If it's a tie, I don't know, there might be a strange combination. Nor if you make it a 10-way tie, though. Gosh, could you imagine a combination of all of these? I think darts makes it particularly exciting. Where do you combine darts with taxidermy? Oh my goodness. There's so much of a tie. There are 4 things tied together at the moment. You have a minute and a half left, everyone. And I will tell you that this category is really fundamental to what this NPC will be doing. So the fact that taxidermy is so far ahead now.
Oh, man. That means people are going to be complaining about bringing real taxidermy into the game forever. We want to be able to stuff stuff.
All right, knitting is trying to make a push. Knitting is only a couple of votes behind taxidermy with just under a minute to go.
I think, wasn't there a report for taxidermy not too long ago?
There might have been. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream, Mallory. I hope everyone is enjoying the stream. This is a lot of fun.
Fresh molding.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, see, I did one that
Galdagutschen
did artisan
taxidermy
skill.
is wow. Hot yoga was just never really in it. Um,
That's a shame.
it's got a vote. That's yours, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
my vote.
All right, you've got 15 seconds, everyone. Is anyone going to topple taxidermy? Only knitting stands a chance of toppling taxidermy in the last few seconds of this category. Oh, it's trying. But alas, our taxidermist. How do they do taxidermy when they're a spirit? This is going to be exciting. Wow. Okay, so just to have a bit of a summary, our Eiger show is gender fluid. They're equally happy in male and female forms. They're an undead and they appear as an older person. They were trained as a Heartstone druid. They are a blind ancestral spirit. They're terrified of the last thing they saw. They're a bit incompetent, very paternal, maternal, and they are a bit of a hoarder. They are an incredibly skilled taxidermist. Well, we've gone straight back into weird. We'd okay. So we've just got a couple more things to sort. Now, you will of course have noticed that our Eiger show, they don't have a name. And there's only one thing that you can truly do in order to find the name of an Eiger show. So I hope that you're all logged into the game. And I hope you're going to join me in one of my favourite... You can't tell if I regret this or not. You're all going to regret this in a moment. And I'd like you all to enter a command for me. And I'd like you to enter the name gen command. And then we're going to vote on the name based on people's name gen options. Because they are gender fluid, you can use name gen for either male or female Eiger show or both. It has to be Eiger show though. Don't go sneaking a trill name in there. We'll know if you do, there'll be too many vowels. But give me your best Eiger show names from name gen. And then we will pick one from then and we will vote. I will join you.
I just had Al come up as one. Al, the undead Heartstone.
Nah. Not Arania, no. Or Arania. I just got A as well, Darius. Dan. You need to so you want to enter this command, but you can also it can be male instead of female. It's up to you.
Ma.
They bring out slightly different things. They can bring out...
It goes from like way crazy to like Ma or Al.
But you can get some. So I really recommend name gen if anyone ever wants to make an alternative character, or if you want to make NPCs or characters in your plays or in your stories. It's also hilarious. I've actually got Johi, which is quite a lovely name. I like Ayaska. We are getting some nice ones in here. Ku.
Quinqua?
I did just get Ma with 3 A's. So you can also get some... I feel like we shouldn't go with Ray. I feel like Ray, might be in some other things. Is, yes. I just got Key, as in QUI. I've honestly lost hours sitting here with my name gen.
Mo. I like Mo. Wicklespoo. That's a good one too. I feel like Wicklespoo fits with her. Shikpu. Shikpu sounds like something from Kung Fu Panda.
No, Shikpu sounds like a breed of dog.
Yeah, okay.
Allery, that name has tuba in it.
There's a valid name for you. Moahoa? Moeahu? I don't know. I can't pronounce stuff.
Quack Wow Group. Nice. Moose. Some of these are really, really lovely names. I just got Catalogue. I did. I've had Na and Ni. There's a lot of two-letter ones actually in Aucagolei. I feel like I'm getting more nice names with female. Aucagolei is a nice name, Shadows.
Delta.
Say, I've had Say as well. Ant.
Ant.
Cock, spelled K-O-K. Yeah, I just got Ant as well. I don't want to add Moose as an option because you'll all just pick Moose. I'm trying to pick the ones that actually sound like names. What I like with name gen is if you sit with name gen for long enough, you can start to work out how each of the races are made. Hi, my name's Aucagolei, but my friends call me Moose. All right, let's get a few more, and then we'll go with the options we've got. Coraline, you're finding all of the loveliest ones, I think. Okay, I'm gonna go with gonna go with 6 options. Mizrai, did you just sneeze into the chat? I keep having to make sure that I'm spelling these correctly. When you're all voting, you're just gonna need to take a moment and make sure that you've spelt it correctly. Okay. So, our Aucagolei's name is either Ayaska, Chopi, Tamamanite, Aucagolei, Kuratoga, Jamoka, or Aeli. Good luck.
No owl?
No Al, no Ni, no Na. And obviously, there will just be one Aeli, not Aioli. I'm not making myself as an NPC. Oh wow, we've got it was very even for the first minute or so there, but Aucagolei is starting to take a lead, though Aeli, possibly because it's just so hard to say, is coming up close behind. Aeoli and their sibling Guacamole. The thing is that I could believe that the Aucagolei name gen would produce Guacamole as a name. Yeah, definite Pirates of the Caribbean feel to Kuratoga. You have a minute and a half left. It is a tie right now.
If it's a tie, we'll have to combine the,
Yeah.
we'll hyphenate the names.
No, don't hyphenate them.
Aucagolei, Aili.
We'll just put an apostrophe in there and they can be like a fake Lucidian. So it's currently a tie between Ayaska and Aucagolei. This is why their friends call them Moose, yeah, because their name is Ayaska hyphen Aucagolei. It could be first and last name. I'm deliberately not doing last name actually because that gives us then options to tie them to other Aigasho in the game. There's only one vote with just under 40 seconds left between Ayaska and Aucagolei. So those of you who voted for the others, why does no one like Jopi? That's my favourite name. Aucagolei Shavat. No, that just sounds ridiculous. No, we won't do last names, Coraline. I'll take care of the last name when building the NPC. 15 seconds left, and they said 15 minutes. Give Aucagolei the floor. Aucagolei Latin team. Yes. We're voting on their name, Eze, but we do have a winner, and I can tell you that our Aigasho is called Aucagolei.
Guacamole. Got it.
Amazing. That is fantastic. All right. So I have one last category. This is your last chance to throw a spanner in the works. I've saved a good category for you. And once we've had this one category, we will have the whole picture of our NPC. These have all been spanners, yeah. I will say, I don't think Ancestral Spirit was a spanner, because that was just fixing the spanner of Undead. So for our final category today, I would like you to tell me what Aucagolei's favourite thing that they own is. The sort of thing, if they were stranded on an island, it's the one thing they would take with them, the thing from which they are truly inseparable. What is that thing?
They're not a bard, Ms. Ray. They're a druid. No ukuleles. Pet undead hamster. Their eyeballs. That's a good one.
This is obviously separate to the vast amount of things that they're hoarding. It's their one true thing, their computer. They're not Halifaxian. Aucagolei's ukulele does sound amazing. A jar of their tears.
Well, too bad they didn't pick bards then, didn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah, it's too late. This is the fun of picking it in a particular order. Unopened package. The feet of the Fae. How many suggestions have come from astral things? Antlers? Astral lines are a good source of Aucagolei's cement socks. A stag. In fact, let's go for the earlier suggestion. We can have the guide stag. Maybe it's a taxidermied guide stag. We'll find out. A pin-up painting of Lyrith. Miss Wright, why are you?
Just why? Just why?
A taxidermied mammoth. I feel like having a few animal options, let's just presume that most of the animal options are taxidermied.
Just a chicken.
Guide chicken. Why were you late, Aucagolei? I just kept crossing the road. I just couldn't stop crossing the road. I was just getting led back and forth across the road. A stale brownie. They really wanted it before they died. Are they incompetent regarding parenting or taxidermy? You'll just have to wait and find out.
Both? Neither? One or the other? Who knows?
A rock egg? Okay. We're going to do 10 of these again. Egg that they sit on and try to hatch. Wow. What about, have we got some suggestions that are not animals? A pot of peep chili.
Of peep chili. That sounds like the most disgusting thing ever.
So I'm not horrified by it.
With.
We don't have peeps in the UK. It's not horrifying to me.
Count yourself lucky.
A yo-yo. I like that.
Nipple tassels.
No, Eze. No. Miss Ray, you're too late. Nelra suggested that about 5 minutes ago. A bag of Twiglets. Thank you. Thank you for the shout out for UK snack foods. Dentures. Not their own.
1v1 me. 1v1? Peeps are delicious. It's not my fault you're wrong.
All right, we've got 9 in my list right now. I need one last thing that is good enough to go into this exceedingly strange list.
Exactly. How to eat peeps. Don't. Throw them away.
Tully's Golden Broom. Yes. A bottle of pre-Holy Celestine Empire wine. Nice.
That's a good one.
A Lyra mix. Yeah, they have the only one. That's why there are no others. They actually.
And that's why they're gonna bring it to the.
Yeah.
They're gonna bring it to the island so they can get off the island, right?
They actually own the patent for it, and they refuse to give it up to Trader Bob. That's the problem. Maracas. Oh no, I think maracas might have gone in there as the last option. All right. This is you're just making me into such strange things into this. Do you think the system that we're using, where they go back and audit, you know, look at tests and see what people have entered, and they're like, why did this person put jar of tears?
A peep store? No. That can't be a thing. I have to Google this. Holy shit. Peeps and Company.
Okay, so for our final category, everyone, this is your last chance to have some input into the character that is Aucagolei, who, in case you weren't here at the start, Aucagolei, the NPC that we have all created together, is going to be released in a future event within the next few months. So you will get to see them and behold them in all of their glory. Aucagolei is a complicated person, but what is their favourite item? Is it their undead cat, their eyeballs, their jar of tears, their unopened package, their antlers, their guide stag, their mammoth, their rock egg, their yo-yo, or their maracas? You have 3 minutes to decide which of these is Aucagolei's favourite item.
I have confirmed that the peep store is actually a thing.
Wow. And again, if they're multiple words, it's all of the words as one word for your voting options. It's eyeballs, not balls. But wow.
Apparently they have
that
hot tamale
so
peeps.
What? Aren't they marshmallow?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hot tamale, chocolate pudding peeps.
Bring me the Bix of Lyra A. Realis. There you go, Eze. The unopened package contains the Lyra Bix. They've never opened it, which is why there isn't a Lyra Bix. So the totals are our current leader is Eyeballs with 4 votes, but then we have 4 things with 3 votes, which includes Undead Cat, an opened package, Guide Stag. Oh no, Rock Egg is a bit less. Oh, we've got a tie now between Eyeballs and unopened package. I think we're finding out what's...
Guide Stag?
There's only 3 votes for Guide Stag. Eyeballs is now at 5. You've got a minute and 15 seconds to decide. An open package has just taken the lead. With 6 votes. We've got Eyeballs with 5 votes, Guide Stag with 3 votes, Undead Cat down to 2, Jar of Tears and Yo-Yo coming in with 1 vote. No one wants Aucagolei to have antlers, a mammoth, a rock egg, or maracas. I mean, I feel like you're missing something with maracas here. It's your last chance to make them a bard. But unopened package going up to 8. We've got 45 seconds left. Thank you for the votes for my favourite option of maracas. I'm pleased to see, by the way, that whatever I like doesn't win. There's no bias here. I'm picking the options, but really it's you that's telling me that you want Aucagolei to have an unopened package, unless in the last 15 seconds Eyeballs can push through and get it. Or maracas, you never know. Well, you think it would be too easy for me if you let maracas win? You've got 5 seconds. Is anything going to change? It unwrapped the package. Please enjoy these £25 credits on this very special day. Aucagolei's favourite item is, of course, their unopened package. All right, so let's give you a summary of what we've created today. So we have... I'm just looking at it as a list, and really as a list it's wonderful. It's their favourite because curiosity has been killing them for centuries. Nice. So Aucagolei. Aucagolei is an Aiga show. They are dead and they are undead. They are an ancestral spirit. They appear in both male and female spiritual bodies. They were trained as a Heartstone druid. At some point, possibly when they died, possibly after, possibly before, we don't know, they became completely blind. But they are terrified of the last thing that they ever saw. And maybe that's why, in their eternal undeath, they're a little bit incompetent. They tend to hoard quite a lot of things, but they're a very parental person. They're very maternal and paternal, very caring. They spend a lot of their time doing taxidermy. But in the dead of night, when they're sitting and thinking, you can sometimes find them contemplating the unopened package that they have always had and they have never opened. This, everyone, is the NPC that we have created together. And at some point in the next few months, in an event yet to be revealed, you will be able to meet Aucagolei and you'll be able to see what they have developed into beyond this incredible smorgasbord of traits you have given us to create it. And they're also old and they are blind. This is absolutely incredible. This is not what I expected at all. I don't really know what I expected. I'm so excited to see what this NPC comes out like. I'm so excited for you to meet them. And I can't say that this stream will do a lot because it would, you know, it'd make it not quite as special. But I cannot wait for you to meet Aucagolei. Thank you all so very much for coming. Thank you for engaging. Having so many of you here meant we had some really fun recommendations, some really fun suggestions, some terrible suggestions as well, mostly from Name Gen.
Terribly awesome suggestions too.
They could have been a hot yoga instructor.
Yeah.
Yes, so I will make a post saying what you came up with so that people can then see it and compare it when the NPC is then released. I'm not sure if we're going to do a transcript from this live stream. We're going to assess it based on the stream, because obviously it involved a lot of back and forth with all of you, and we want to make sure that, you know, if we produce a transcript, it's something that's actually useful to people. The VOD, that's the video on demand, will be available immediately on Twitch as soon as the stream ends in the next few days. I can't promise when exactly. The recording will go up, and then you'll be able to view that permanently. Whilst I have got all of you here, I do want to remind you that we are doing across all of Iron Realms right now a charity drive for an amazing charity called RIP Medical Debt. They have a fund going right now called the Helping COVID Heroes Fund. Now, whilst we're a global game, our company is based in the US, and as many of you will be horribly familiar with, the US have a very unfair medical system. And that means that often a lot of people are left in really crippling medical debt, having had something terrible happen to them or a family member. And that what the Helping COVID Heroes Fund is doing is specifically paying off or buying off the medical debt of healthcare workers and first responders. So the people who are currently responding to the pandemic, who are on the front lines, they are having any medical debt that they incur from that is being paid off. The amazing thing about how this works is that for every dollar that is donated to that fund, that pays for $100 of medical debt. So we have, across all of Iron Realms, 20% of our the money we're making is going to the fund to a max of $12,000. So that's no, it's not 120,000. You know, it's a lot of medical debt being paid off. We also have
1.2 million.
1.2 million, yeah, which is amazing. We also have pets, that all of the games are selling different pets. Here in Listernia, we are selling a plushie of Squibbles. It functions as a beep beep toy, so you can use it to send messages to people. We've sold so many already. You can buy them for yourself, you can buy them for friends. They're just $5. So buying one Squibbles plushie pays $500 of someone's medical debt off. A Squibbles plushie actually changes people's lives. So if you want to go onto the website, it's listernia.com/credits, and you can go down and look in the artifacts category and you'll be able to buy your Squibbles plushies there. Please do. They will only be available for the period of the charity drive, which runs until the 27th of May. Squibbles will shed on you, Squibbles try to bite you. It's amazing. And I really hope you'll come out and support. It's an amazing charity. So thank you for that. Thank you for today's stream. We're going to leave it here and go and contemplate what we've done, what all of you have done, and possibly drink something. And
remember what you've done too.
We will remember. We will know. It's on this video forever who suggested what. I will be taking names. But thank you all so much for coming. And it's goodbye from me, and take care of yourselves, and we will see you all very soon. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thanks, everybody.